What's going on, everybody? My name is Dave. Welcome to another exciting episode of Crypto Awesome, where crypto is simplified and awesomeness is amplified. And today we have legendary James from Baby Dragon X, and we are going to be talking about some fun stuff about scale and about this project that's coming up that you guys have been teasing for a while, and in a good way. So I'm really excited to hear about what is scale. And James, you've just been, first off, it's really great to see you. How you doing?
I'm good, Dave. I feel like we've been connected for a long time. Like right before we jumped on, we're talking about how long have we known each other? How many streams have we done? We can't even keep track of how many. And
I can't keep track of how many.
killing it with Awesome X. You're all over the airwaves, as I
Thanks,
like to say.
bro.
You know?
I'm all in, dude. I'm all in.
So yeah, I'm trying to, because I'm the leader of a fairly large protocol called MetaHub Finance. That's my day job. But Baby Dragon X is turning into more than just a side hustle. In fact, we have 3 full-time people, right? Every protocol runs their things differently, volunteer mods and things like that. Hey, Mr. Green. Hi, amigos. Hi, amigos. Every protocol runs things differently, community mods, volunteers and such. So because we've got a good revenue stream, we are able to have 2 full-time community mods leaders. We're able to have a portfolio manager. He's actually the guy that got me into crypto gaming in 2021. So he's full-time. And then we have a guy who's almost full-time. He's our operations guy. I worked with him back at my previous company. He's very good at the videos. You're going to see a flood of clips coming out, about Awesome X and Baby Dragon X and Scale and overall Titan X community. We're doing that. We're doing that as kind of a community service because people love clips, right? Little 10, 15-second clips. They love those little sound bites. So we're going to be doing that.
I love them too.
Hey.
We're different breed because everybody says we have ADD and like we like short clips, which I do like short clips. I like them in addition, but I don't.
Yeah.
It's funny because we're also interested in what we're doing, that these 5-hour streams or 8-hour streams actually get people like staying the whole time. Like we don't really have a really short attention span if we're interested in what we're listening to. But those short clips really kind of pull the little pockets out of it. And I do like the additional short clips, but I will watch and listen to 5 hours of a stream with, build on Titan X people all day long.
I'll tell you, just how is my audio okay, Dave? Am I okay? This is it's a new microphone that I've had to tweak a little bit.
Good. And that looks like a sweet microphone. It's like red.
It's not bad. I mean, it's the same one our operations guy has, and it's a nice one. Doesn't cost that much. I think it was only like 60, 70, 80 bucks. And it's really got a bunch of bells and whistles. You can even turn a different color. Instead of red, you can do green. I wasn't able to do the green. I don't know what I did wrong. But about the long streams, can I just talk about the long stream for a minute? So Element 280, so the dude, obviously, that guy's a genius. He's so modest. He's so friendly. He's so helpful. He's so full of collaboration. And he's got some genius ideas. Yeah. So Element 280, he's been kicking around for a while, chatting about it. And he decided to have 3 founders because it's a lot of work, and it's a bit of an investment. These things aren't cheap. And we kicked off the stream. Of course, the dude is running things in the background. So you saw, I hate to say his name because he's only partially doxed, right? So the 3rd founder, who you can look him up and see who he is. The 2 of us were running the stream, and I thought at most this would be like 3 hours. At most it'll be 3 hours. And we kicked things off.
This was the launch stream, wasn't it?
This was the launch stream, and people started coming in and coming out, and then Jake stopped in, and then Ali. We just had so many people come in and out. I think Mo stopped in for a while. All of a sudden, I don't even know how, like if 6 hours or something, 5, 6 hours. And it went by really fast. So if you love what you're doing and you're really into it, the time just goes by really quickly. So that's all I wanted to say.
Exactly. That's what happened on I'm pretty sure I got on that one too. I think, you know,
Did you stop in? See, there's so many
I
people.
think so.
I remember who stopped in. I believe you did. I believe you did stop in.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
you know what? You know what? You definitely stopped in because there's a clip. There's clips of you where you got the Hulk, you got the gorilla thing behind you, and the guy who was doing our clip said, "Does he do that on purpose? Does he like put his head right there, like so it looks like he's got an extra set of arms?"
why
I
not?
said, I think he does. So yeah, you were definitely there, and we appreciate you. The dude was there, and you know it was just great conversation. You know, how's the launch going? How's everyone doing? What do you think? What's the future?
Yeah, it's so cool to do these launch streams like right around the actual launch window. I think it's so much fun. Then now it's hard for someone like Dude because he's got to actually get off the stream in order to launch the protocol. Yeah,
exactly.
So I have a team that does that part for me, you know, so I could be on the launch stream, but they're back there, you know, doing the hard work.
Chugging away. There is so much that goes on back there. My goodness. Right. Yeah. So, you know, we didn't decide how we're going to do it. We will definitely do a stream. There will definitely be a launch. The launch stream seems to be the new way to do it. You don't just launch and then come in later. No, you kick off your launch party an hour before, and then you know you're having some fun, and you got enough people on there. You invite some of your fellow founders and other streaming OGs. You invite anybody, you know, and then having plenty of people.
It becomes a launch party, you know,
a real party.
Yeah,
a real party with your friends. You know, this is not one of those parties you go to that I have to go to this. It's not like that. These parties are fun.
Yeah, exactly. And we all like the same thing. We're all nerding out on the same cool stuff. But
we really are. I mean, I don't know about you, but I like to always tell the story that I saw Jake on a crypto kindness stream probably 4 or 5 months before he launched Titan X. So he launched Titan X October 28th in 2023. I saw him on a crypto kindness Zen stream months before that. There was like crypto bra, crypto kindness, and then this guy who I didn't know him, like this guy Jake. It seemed like he knew a lot of things. Like he knew things about Pulse Chain, he knew things about Zen, but he never talked about what he was doing. So I was like, who is he? But then, you know, out of sight, out of mind. And all of a sudden, he's kicking this thing Titan X off, and I was too busy, kind of winding down my startup, so I didn't actually get in until day 33. So December 3rd, day 33 of Titan X was my first day, and things were still juicy back then. You could still make many X's, many X's, and I did many X's. So that enabled me to, you know, kick off Baby Dragon X with the help of a founder who has decided to kind of take a step back, you know. So I'm the sole founder in the front of it now with a great team. Like I said, a fantastic team. So that's how it all started off.
That's amazing. You know, you got in about 30 something days before me. I did my first max miner on day 67, but
wow, 67.
January 1st was when I got in. I watched the Joe Perry's video and I read the Titan X white paper on January 1st because I was getting froggy. My XRP was just sitting there and it's just like, what am I doing? Why do I have this XRP? It's not doing anything for me. So I took half of the XRP and I maxed mine Titan X immediately as soon as I wrapped my head around the white paper on day 67. And then I still had half my XRP. I probably should have went all in, but I didn't really go all in at that point. I wanted to dip my foot into the experiment and see what happened. And I'm glad I did. But then I still had the other half of my XRP left. So when it came time to build Awesome X, I'm like, Ellie's like, you got some money to build this with? And I'm like, yeah, well, I could use all this XRP that's just sitting here. So I basically used the rest of my XRP to build Awesome X.
Dust off the XRP pile. Liquidate. There you go. So it served its purpose, right?
Totally worth it. You know, I don't have anything against XRP, and I'll probably get back in it a little bit, but it's not it's not Titan X. It's not fair launch or hyper deflationary. You know, this is the two revolutionary pieces that come together that Jake design true innovation, and not just in crypto, like literally in the basic economics of finance, of DeFi, but also basic economics of finance in general. Like hyperdeflation and fair launch are the two things that are going to change the world. And I'm not over exaggerating that. In my mind, they're revolutionary. And what he built,
I'm right there with you, Dave. I am right there with you.
It's in the code. Like that's the crazy part. It's not even like a theory. Like it's written in the code. You could go verify it, and it's in the white paper. And so it's like, man, it's crazy. But the fair launch is really important, and so is the hyperdeflation. 55,000x floor price increase mathematically coded in relation to ETH over 2,000 days. It's like, it's like day one was 8 million Titan X you can mine on a max mine day.
Yeah, that was a
and
lot.
Right now we're probably like less than half, so probably around 3 million a day, which is actually still pretty good for where we are. But it's never going to be 8 million ever again. But day 2,000, it's 800 a day.
Yeah,
a max miner will cost 1 ETH in 2,000 days, and it's going to mine you 224,000 Titan X on a max miner in 2,000 days. Like it is going to be so expensive. And how much is an ETH going to be? Like it's
who
going to
knows in 2,000? Yeah, who knows?
And you can't even get it like the next
could
day.
Be 20,000, could be 3,000.
And it's not like you just buy it and get it the next day. Like you got to wait for a whole max miner to get 1 ETH to get 224,000 Titan X in 2,000 days. Like, I don't know what's going to happen, right? I'm just saying, when you look at this math, the coded math is really bullish. The long-term coded math, especially. And now with all the projects building on top of it, it's actually accelerating that.
It is. It really is. I mean, you've got fantastic things like Volt. You've got obviously, Awesome X. It's just vacuuming up the supply. It's locking it up. It's burning it. It's doing all these things with it, whether it's an LPs or locks or stakes or sending it to Genesis, a wallet, the Dragon X wallet, the Helios wallet. We are taking every day. We are taking more and more Titan X off the market. Very deflationary.
In 1 week, Awesome X has vacuumed up 1.3 trillion Titan X.
Yeah,
and we're not even the biggest protocol right now out there. Like there's other protocols that have, taken a lot more liquid. And now when you look at Titan X stats, which we should actually look at, let's go to Titan X here. So we're just going to go to the hub where
Hey, by the way, if I could ask, I'm just reminded of something. So whenever we're showing something on the screen, you see how our video boxes are the square boxes on the left. So if we're talking about something on the screen, that's really good. If we're not really using the screen, we should make us a little bigger because our clips will be much higher quality. That's what my ops guy told me.
So wait, hold on. What, say that like that? No, wait.
Whenever. So we're going to look at the, this Titan X hub thing. We're going to look at that. After we're done looking at it, if we can make ours bigger, maybe either you can stretch them out, I think is how you can do it with StreamYard. Something like that. Yeah. If we don't need the screen, we can get back to like this. But if we need the screen, obviously keep it because it's just so much better quality.
Better for the clips.
Better for the clips. Yeah. And we want to really use these clips. Yeah, we really want to use these clips to do some marketing. So.
Some good alpha, bro. I like it. Okay, you know what? We got Stray in the house. What's up, Stray?
Oh, Stray! Oh, Stray is always around there. Nice.
Yeah, tell me more about Scale. Actually, Stray, that's why I like doing these interviews because I get all the alpha straight from the founder himself. All right, let's look at Titan X. I just want to look at the stats really quick.
Absolutely.
We have. Where is it? Scale here right now on number 12. You guys, if you want to go, here's white paper, Telegram, X-Link, and the website. And this is on upcoming projects here on Titan X Hub. So I just like to go to Titan X Hub, and then I get to go to the website button here. Boom, makes it really easy. You could type in the web address, but this just makes it easy. And then stats, 21. Okay, look at this. Look, now we're at 45 trillion. Like this literally was 46.
I love the stats chart. We are going to do stats on the Baby Dragon X page too. Because in the founders team, Jake said, if you're not doing a stats pie chart, what are you doing with your life? So he said something like that.
But look at liquid, 21% liquid, 23% BOT protocols. Like BOT has already overtaken liquid.
Yeah.
That's really bullish because we're really close to 369. I mean, like really close now.
11 days. So over in Asia, it's the 20th.
Wow.
And day 369, 11 days. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, everybody's got an opinion. We'll come back to that later. There's a lot of green on Titan-X Hub. You pull up Titan-X Hub and, you see a lot of green. I saw Volt is up 47%. Volt is just printing. Like I literally just bought more Volt today.
It's
like
7 cents right now. Are you kidding me?
Volt to $1.
Cow.
Volt to $1.
Volt to $1. That's why Awesome V, when it comes out, is going to be pretty awesome because we're going to be able to use the Awesome X to mint it. And I think it's like, wow. I'm just really very blessed to be involved in this community because I've just never seen anything like it. Like we're up 10% here right now on the hub. That's kind of cool. We have 151 billion burned, which actually, we have burned 430. Let's look at this really quick. Stats. We have burned 20% of the supply in the first week. And that is total of $451,000 that we have burned in AwesomeX just the first week. We've sent $23,000. We've burned $23,000 worth of Dragon X in the first week. And we've sent $230,000 to the Dragon X vault in the first week.
Big numbers. Very big, impressive numbers.
And we have $939,000 still in the buy and burn. We have 620 billion Titan X sitting in the buy and burn. And today alone, we're going to burn $31,000, which yesterday we burned $130,000. And today we're going to burn $31,000. So it is crazy. I mean, it is really crazy. I'm really happy. But let's talk a little bit about Scale. What is Scale?
Yeah, sure. Do you think it would be should I try to share my screen so we got the white paper up just behind us?
Oh, wait. Tell me. Oh, get the white paper up. Yep.
What I'm thinking about is, am I able to share? And I just have the white paper up. And
can you share?
I think I can. I'm going to try.
Try it.
Share screen is easiest with 2 monitors. Whatever. Don't show these tips. We will share entire screen. Okay. So it's a little delayed on the YouTube because I'm just scanning over there. How about you? Like for you, can you see the Scale white paper? Like is my voice in sync with like what I'm moving around the screen?
Yes, it is. I can see that. And it's in sync.
Okay. Gotcha. I'm always concerned because in Southeast Asia, no matter where you are in Southeast Asia, Singapore, Indonesia, Philippines, you sometimes just get the internet just slows down sometimes. You just can't help it. So the idea of Scale is to bring high value to Baby Dragon X holders. So BDX holders, if you don't have any BDX yet, this is your chance to get some before we launch, or before day 369, because I think gangbusters are going to happen. But if you're interested in Scale, you want to get yourself some Baby Dragon X, because Scale is going to be an enormous boost to Baby Dragon X, no matter how much participation we have, right? Whether we have 50 billion participation, Titan X participation, 100 billion, 500 billion, a trillion, whatever the number is, it will amplify it greatly because of the amount of buy and burn and such. So the whole idea of Scale is to bring high value to Baby Dragon X. We've always said that that anything we build will bring value. Let me step back one. Even projects that we collaborate with, such as Element 280, that we are 1/3 owner in, we are utilizing that revenue stream to boost Baby Dragon X. So we've got a nice revenue stream coming in, and we can allocate that to buy and burn. We can just buy it and hold it. We can fill up our portfolio with all the other tokens. So
I like
everything
how you're looking at this, because actually, in one sense, what do you do when you start a company? You look for revenue streams, multiple revenue streams on a company. Now, if we're treating these protocols as decentralized companies, they should have revenue streams, right? We should be building revenue streams in, because then it's not purely based on, people participation. It's actually based upon additional revenue streams that come from multiple places. So I think that would make that's going to make a strong protocol, like a really strong protocol, having multiple revenue streams coming from multiple protocols.
Yeah, thank you. That is exactly what we're thinking. Whenever we created this back in February, I had the idea that I'd like something to be sustainable, but I hadn't gone out, too far in advance. We had to wait for some success to happen before we had the funds to be able to make the dreams come true.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and boy, did you have some success. I mean, seriously.
Well, I'll tell you,
wow.
Eric went on that 4-hour stream with Mike Dean. I stayed on that stream almost 2 hours, and I was, in there supporting. I didn't realize what was going to happen. But Eric, before that stream, Eric was very bullish. He was, on his tweets, on his, in his Telegram, he was saying, if you don't, anybody who wants to sell your Dragon X, I will buy all of it. I'm very bullish on, of course, all founders are bullish on their protocol, but he was especially bullish. He said, great things are going to be happening. Will it be day 369? Will it be tomorrow? Will it be the end of the year? He said he was very bullish about things, and Dragon X started to take off. People started to really buy Dragon X, started to hold it, and their holders increased. And they did something like a 15x, a 12 or a 15x. And because we were, that was our primary liquidity pair, our primary exotic pair, we did a 77x. So we went from $47,000 market cap up to 3.6 million was the first high. We stayed there for a while, we backed down, and then we went to 4.2 million. That we had 4.2 million literally while I was on an advisory call with the dude. You know how he's always 420. It's just so funny that 4.20 was the high, and it was while I was on the call with him. The universe works in very strange ways.
Yeah.
So we did that 77x. It's going to be interesting because of all this bonded liquidity, because of all these exotic pairs. Some fantastic things are going to happen when all that buy and burn is released. When that staking.
When you say that, are you talking about 369?
Yeah, 369. So I'm talking about I'm talking about Dragon X gets millions of dollars from staking. I'm talking Titan X. People are obviously going to get millions of dollars themselves. It's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of new money entering from the buy and burns. That alone will be a jump start, not including all these other protocols that are coming out. So that's why we created Scale. We were hoping that we could launch around day 369 because I believe it's going to be chaos around day 369. I think some protocols are going to go absolute gangbusters. I think others may, go maybe a little bit slower, a little bit differently. You never know what's going to happen. You really certainly don't know. But what we created, at the beginning, you mentioned some things. You mentioned deflationary systems. Well, guess what? The first sentence in our abstract, the Scale protocol introduces a powerful deflationary system. So holders of the Scale token are going to get reflections of the Scale token because of taxes. These taxes can be ramped up and they can be ramped down. There's admin keys to turn them up and turn them down. of course, there's limits and all that type of thing. So that's just the abstract, right? The holders are going to benefit. So Scale is not only a token just to buy it, get your X's and get out. This token will enable you to gather revenue from other buyers and sellers, other people who are swapping that token. If you're holding, you're going to be gaining more Scale into your wallet as it gets distributed. You don't have to claim it. It's just going to go right into your wallet.
Wow, I love that. That's a really nice way to do it.
And
then
I
it
think
just
another
goes right into your wallet, and you don't have to claim it.
Should not have to claim it, right? We didn't want to have to do claims. So, anyways, we're in we passed our first audit. Second audit is going now, and we'll come to those types of things. If any questions happen to come up, we'll adjust them as we go. Shrey says there's no stopping Volt. I agree. Pretty Sweet Dave has been earning 2,000 a day on AwesomeX. Ramp up those buy and burns. Shrey loves reflection tokens. Well, you're at the right place. Shrey OX, you're at the right place. So the minting process. We love fair launches, right? The Baby Dragon X was a fair launch and for 14 days. And Scale is also a fair launch, 14 days.
Now, when you say 14 days, is that the minting period?
That is the minting period.
So daily you can mint once a day, or is it just available to mint for 14 days straight?
You can mint anytime you want for those 14 days. Yep. There's no lobby system. There's no minting early gets you more. Nothing like that. It's a straight up 14 days. You know, we want it, and we did it this way just to be a little bit different. Some people have miners coming out at different times. Some people want to take profits and other tokens and move around. So we want to make it nice and flexible. We don't want people to rush and make decisions. So we're having a 14-day even participation. So no matter if you participate on the first minute or the last minute, you get the same. For your Titan X. You can mint Scale with either ETH or Titan X. So we think it was fantastic. So we're a 1/3 founder in the Element 280 protocol. We believe that the dude really set us something up special there. We really think he did a good job there, the way it worked, and giving people the flexibility of using Titan X or Ethereum to mint. We think that's a fantastic thing. It's worked flawlessly for Element 280, and our dev is the same dev. So he knows how to do this properly, right? So fair launch 14 days. Now, what's a little different about our fair launch is we are incentivizing BDX, meaning Baby Dragon X token holders, Dragon X token holders, and Dragon X hybrid NFT holders. Anyone who holds Baby Dragon X or Dragon X, whether it's loose in your wallet or whether it's in a hybrid NFT, you will have a minting bonus. The way the minting bonus.
What if you have hybrids in 2 different wallets?
That's okay. Then each wallet will get the bonus. So yeah.
Is it a scaling bonus somehow? Like the more you have, the more bonus you get. So would it be beneficial to move all of them to one wallet?
So, not to give any financial advice. However, if you're planning to mint Scale and you want all your bonuses to be in one place, then you want all your tokens that get benefits to be in one wallet.
Right.
And they are additive.
What I was thinking.
And they're
separated, if you have hybrids in both wallets, then you're probably not going to get the full bonus that you could get unless you brought them into the same wallet and then used that wallet to get into Scale.
It's a very good point. Yep, it's definitely something to think about.
Cool. Okay. I like that. So how do we know what bonus we get? Like, can we figure that out, or is that something that the protocol does?
So what we've got down here, we've got kind of a framework, which this just gives you the idea of how much bonus you get. So let's take a look down here. So if you are like I said, this chart needs to be filled out a little bit more with percentages. So basically, what we're looking at is the entire supply of Dragon X and the entire supply of baby Dragon X, and depending on how much of a percent of the supply that you have, then you qualify for additional amounts of BDX. Amount of scale. So based on your BDX minting bonus and based on your Dragon X and your hybrid NFT bonus, you will get additional minting bonus. So
Nice.
if you minted a billion, say that you're a turtle and you minted a billion scale, you would get 2% additional.
Cool.
Say that you're a Poseidon. A Poseidon is a real whale. Poseidons
how many BDX do you need to be a Poseidon?
Yeah. So the thing is, we are reworking this chart. The chart that we had was a little bit hard to read, a little bit hard to understand. So what we did is we took the complicated chart out that wasn't working well. We just stuck this in a placeholder. There are going to be kind of the ranks. So if you have this range of BDX, you will be a shell. If you have this range of BDX, like a percentage of the supply, then you're a shrimp. But we're also going to have an automatic wallet copy, let's see, like a wallet paste area. You'll, right before launch, within I'm thinking 24 hours of launch, you'll be able to copy your wallet address into our DApp, not connect. All you have to do is copy it in there, and we'll tell you the minting bonus.
Cool.
So we're going to have it like that. So we will have a chart that's a little bit easier to read. We're just trying to figure out, because it's a little complex, right? Because we're giving snapshot bonus for 3 different things: Dragon X loose, Dragon X in hybrid NFTs, and BDX. So we're trying to figure out a way to make this chart easier. Suffice it to say that we're going to get this done the next day or two, but we're also going to have in our DApp a place where you can copy your wallet address, and then you'll see, here's my bonus. So we're going to make it easy for you if you're not the kind of person who likes to look at charts and read.
Cool, man.
All right. So that is that's pretty much what we've got for launch. Launch is going to be 14 days. We're going to have a launch party. You know, right before the stream, Dave, we were talking about launch parties. Everybody's having launch parties now, and basically they're a blast. And these are not your 2-hour lunch parties. These are lasting for hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours. So we are also going to have a launch party. We intend to kick off. Yeah. And you are welcome. You are invited.
Sweet.
We hope you can swing
When
by.
are you launching?
Oh yeah, of course. Everybody wants to know that one. So let's talk about that for a moment. So right now we have 2 auditors, right? Same 2 auditors as Element 280, by the way. They're very good auditors. The first audit came back completed, and there were a lot of things found. There were a lot of issues. There were a lot of ways to do things better, because of the way our protocol works, which we'll get to later, the way the reflections work, the way the LPs are set up, the way the burning happens, the way the miners are called. Hydra miners are being called by the protocol. There's a lot going on with Scale in the background that you don't have to worry about, but it's quite complex.
Hold on. You said Hydra miners are being called in the background. What does that mean?
Oh yeah, we're going to get to that.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, that's
what's going on over here.
Yeah. Well, we support. So first of all, we think that Jake and Eric are fantastic founders, fantastic, should I say, leaders, and just visionaries, right? So when they created Hydra, I immediately got in, right? I immediately participated.
Me too.
We also, oh, you did too? Yep.
Oh yeah. Max miners. I mean,
did you?
I go straight max miners. I'm not doing any short terms. I'm a long-term mindset kind of guy. I want to maximize everything. And max miners, and you know what? Max miners on Hydra is easy. It's 88 days, so it's like
very easy. Yeah, not that long. less than 3 months. So what we decided to do is, because we knew our protocol wasn't going to be ready by the Hydra launch, what we decided to do is we took a DAO vote. So the Baby Dragon X, we run many things through the DAO, many things, not everything, but many things are put to a DAO vote. And we put in the DAO vote, how many $1,000 of our grant money should we use to start Hydra miners early, before Scale is launched? So I think the choices were 10,000, 8,000, 5,000, 1,000, something like that. Overwhelmingly, people voted for $10,000. So we created 13 Hydra miners, anywhere from 15 days up to 77 days. I don't think we went 88. I think we did 77. So we kicked off those. All the miners were profitable, every single one of them. So we've claimed all but the last two, I think.
Cool.
And
so you did some kind of shorter term miners for
15 day. I think 15 day might have been the shortest one that we did. So what, based on those number of miners, just to give some quick numbers. So $10,000 worth of Titan X was used, and we claimed and sold almost $18,000 worth, and that was within like 25 days. That's so we took 10,000, and then we flipped in this brilliant protocol that was flipped into 25,000. What did we do with that? We bought some Dragon X, we bought some USDC, we kept some in ETH, and we bought a couple other protocols, and it's all in the Grant wallet. The Grant wallet is almost like a bag of holding in Dungeons and Dragons. It seems like it never gets empty, right? It seems like there's always more money in there. No matter how much you pay for audits, and you fund the marketing wallet, and you pay for your portion of Baby Dragon X, or you pay some deck screener, we still have like $72,000 in there. We started with, so after we did the run up, right after the 77X run up, that was around $40,000 worth. Wow. And it was all BDX. So what we did was we did a lot of single-sided liquidity. 250 million, $500 million, $1 billion. I probably did 30 or 40 single-sided liquidities. We liquidated all the BDX without ever hitting the chart, We still have 8 billion BDX in the rewards wallet. We didn't touch that. That's still sitting over there. But we are fully diversified in the Grant wallet, very diversified. That 40,000 turned into 100,000 because Dragon X had a nice run up, and we were holding about 45% Dragon X in the wallet. We were lucky. But also Dragon X is a strong protocol.
Yeah, the only thing I regret, and I don't regret much, and you know what? It's really not a regret because I learned from these things and I don't do them again. Is I minted day one, Baby Dragon. I minted 3 billion Baby Dragon X day one, and during the dark times, I faded it into a Helios miner, and it was, I didn't get out of the ecosystem. I went to Helios, but still. Yeah. Like I should not, my lesson, never fade a BOT protocol. And that is my new lesson, that I have to live by that, not financial advice, just what I'm doing. But like I'm getting in day one, and I still did. I've been in day one on every single project so far, right? Except a couple. But overall, I still need to be in most of the there might be a couple moving forward that I don't participate in for whatever reason, but overall, I need to make sure I'm in most of these protocols because I'm fascinated. I want to, in order for us to really learn what's really going on, I got to put my a little bit of skin in the game, and having a little bit of skin in the game, and then having patience, to hold just through. Like a week in crypto feels like a whole month, and
it does.
It's crazy. Getting from a Friday to a Friday is like, it's literally like a month, and people freak out. I'm like, guys, it's only been a week. Like, let's give us a second.
Exactly. There's already been a launch. There's already been another record set in the Titan X community. This protocol is up 100% 3 days in a row. So much happens, but I think time is going just unbelievably fast. Just like you said, week to weeks are flying by. Let me slide out of this section here, and then we're going to talk about the minting allocation. So the minting allocation, what we're going to be doing is we love bonded liquidity. We think this is extremely powerful. There's many powerful things in the Titan-X ecosystem. The bonded liquidity, the exotic pairs, is one of the strongest. Of course, you've got the ethos, which the ethos, of the fair launches and docs founders and audits and these things. Bonded liquidity is extremely powerful. So of the initial, so you will mint with either Titan-X or with Ethereum, right? So 35% of this initial will be split in this way. So by the way, this is during all 14 days. These pools are not active until day 15. So these pools are just going to grow, right? They're just going to grow and they're going to grow and they're going to grow.
And they'll get created on the end of day 14.
So no, they'll be created earlier than that. They will be created earlier, probably within the first 24 hours, because we need obviously the amount of participation to come in, and then we need enough to just be able to kick them off properly.
Yeah. Okay. So when minting begins, these will start up, at some point.
At some point during the 14
minting,
days,
but before day 15, and then
absolutely. Yep.
Within that time, they're just going to fill up, and they're not going to be too active. You mean until day 15, or what do you mean about waiting? What waits till day 15 besides the minting?
Yeah, so scale itself will not be tradable.
Oh, got you. So they're just going to be filling up, but they can't be used because scale won't be tradable yet until day 15. Exactly. Ooh, that's interesting.
And you get your scale right away, right? When you mint your 1 billion Titan-X or your 0.3 ETH or whatever it is, you get your scale right away in your wallet. It's sitting right there in the wallet. You don't have to wait.
So people won't be able to, actually, they won't even be able to sell it right
Yeah, there'll
away.
Be no, exactly. There'll be no LPs.
LP ready. Okay, so it's basically a cooling off period in one sense. It's like kind of almost a 15-day miner if you start day one. In a way.
But you know exactly how much you're getting.
But exactly, it's not an auction-based system, which I kind of like that, because I put a lot into Volt, and it looked like I was about to get a payout, and then all of a sudden people came in right at the last minute, and I was like, oh man, that sucks, dude. I was like, I like personally I like non-auctions. I love what Volt's doing, don't get me wrong, but as far as participation, if I put something in, if I put a Titan-X in, I want to know what am I getting out just as a participant. It's like, if it's like, oh, you're going to get 4 million. And then all of a sudden you're like, I get 800,000. Come on.
Right. It's all about, those auctions are, so I personally love a lot of different things about crypto, and I have to be in a certain mood for an auction. And I like the way that Volt does it. I participated in the luckiest day. I got very lucky on Volt. I didn't participate in day 1, 2, or 3. I believe it was day 4. It was either day 3 or day 4. The one that it did a 4X, there was less people in there, or people were
that's the strategy. I missed that strategy because I got in day 1, which, day 1's probably not the right. You got to get in on the day of the auctions where people are forgetting about it. I didn't really think about it that way before. Stray's it's PvP, and it's true. Auctions are PvP. It's so good point. If I look at it that way, it kind of makes me like auctions in a little different. It's more like a game when you do the auctions. But exactly. I guess I haven't learned how to play that game yet. I have to think about auction strategy. But we don't have to do that with scale. Because
you don't have to do that with scale. You
know how much you're going to get for the whole 14 days. And now, are we minting with Titan-X or yes?
And or ETH. You may use Titan-X and or ETH.
Because the ETH will just route through Titan-X. If people want to get in through ETH, it'll just route through Titan-X to get in.
We'll buy the Titan-X, actually. What we'll do with it is we'll buy the Titan-X for them. Right. Yeah. So, and there's it's not too complex, but we take care of that all on the back end. So, and it's super easy to do because there's a lot of liquidity in Titan-X. So no issue in that. Some people just don't want to sell their Titan X. They're like, you know what? I got this amount of Titan X over here. I want to participate in the protocol, but I don't want to use my Titan X. So nice to give them options. So we're giving you options. So we're going to kick off a handful of different LPs. So our largest LP will be the Scale BDX, of course. That'll be 60% of it. Then we are intending, and these numbers could change a little bit, but the numbers as listed now are 10% will be with Hydra, 10% with Dragon X, 10% with E280, 10% with Awesome X because you guys are awesome. And if Viper launches in time, we will evaluate if we can have this one be, maybe we take 2% from everything and drop it over into Viper. I think Viper looks really super interesting. And if there's a way to have it be part of our LP web, we'll do it. But if not, then we won't. So I see a lot of, do you want to look through any of the questions, Dave? Like, there's been comments, there's questions. I see our buddies from Helios over there saying Baby Dragon X is growing up. We're trying to grow up, that's for sure. Scale E280, I see. Yes, indeed. Helios, we respect you highly. I learned how to create my first DAO because of the dude. I knew I wanted a DAO, and I had played with a DAO a couple years ago, but I didn't know how to really do anything with it. But I wanted a DAO where we could actually have votes, and people who are holding the token have more weight in their vote. So the dude pointed me over to snapshot.org and said, go read. Don't come asking me questions until you did your reading. He basically kind of said that. So I went over there, and it was pretty easy to do. You go over to snapshot.org. The documents are super easy. You can create your DAO, and then you're done, right? So we were the first protocol to have a DAO in all of Titan X. Now the Helios, of course, they have a DAO, and I'm on their DAO council. Helios is more sophisticated with their DAO. They've got multi-sig wallet. They're doing more with their DAO, and they're taking more steps forward on it. We're keeping the Baby Dragon X DAO fairly simple at this point. We're not multi-sig, but we do run most of the decisions through the DAO.
And it's through a snapshot, right?
Yes, yeah. So what we'll do is say that there's going to be a vote, like how much do we spend? How much do we invest in 280? We're a 1/3 owner. How much do we invest? Do we do a 5,000, a 10,000, a 20,000? So we ran a DAO vote on that, and it was also very, very highly voted for the full 10,000. So 10,000 is what we participated.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
We got 7 rare amped through the protocol.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So I'm gonna do the snapshot stuff for the treasury on Awesome X because we're funded.
Oh yeah.
We're funded too. Like you got funded. Like the treasury is now funded. So is the launch pad. The launch pad is funded. I think we have, how much we got in the launch pad right now? Let me just see.
Yeah, check it out.
Launch pad, $67,000. We have 44 billion Titan X in there, and then we have $57,000 in the treasury. And so, these are the things that are going to allow this ecosystem to continue to grow. That's a revenue stream, like you said, for the company. The launch pad is so exciting though, because that's gonna. People can submit for the launch pad. Anyways, I don't know what's about to happen, but it's amazing. So, okay. So we got, so where were you? What were you talking about? Sorry.
So we were just going through, kind of the LP strategy, how that's all going to work there.
So it's going to be an LP web is what you're creating with Scale is going to pair with BDX, Hydra, and that's the reason you did the Hydra miners, so you could basically get Hydra to pair with it. Is that why?
It's not the only reason. However, it certainly played into the reasons.
Okay, cool. And then you have Scale you have E280 that you got some legendaries or whatever. You got the
7
amps.
Yeah, so we have 7 not legendaries. The legendaries were 10 billion each. That's $10,000. We could have done that, but no, we didn't. So we got 7 rare amped. Yeah.
Cool. And then I see Awesome X there. What's that look like?
Yeah, so we're going to be buying Awesome X. So I mean, there's going to be no. I don't believe that we're going to do any kind of the numbers that E280 did. E280 was fascinating. It probably appealed to a larger audience, but there's going to be some buying that goes on, right? Because with all this initial ETH and/or Titan X, we are going to buy more BDX. We're going to buy Hydra. We're going to buy Dragon X. We're going to buy more 280. We're going to buy some of your Awesome X, and we're going to buy Viper, assuming it's ready.
Are you going to buy it on market, or are you going to buy it through the minting cycles?
So that will. So we're not doing it exactly the way that Element 280 did it. So on the back end, there were like some different methods that the dude used, because it's too much. Like, if you can't just go and say, I'm going to buy $25,000 worth of BDX or $30,000 worth of Awesome X. You gotta split it up. So we've got some mechanisms in the back where we will buy it not all at once.
Because sometimes there's a better reason. Sometimes there's a good reason to use the protocol's version of and how that works versus buying it off the open market. Like, for instance, sometimes, like right now it was 2.72 to 1 Titan X to get Awesome X this weekend during the mint cycle. That's never going to happen again. Next week is going to be 2.8% more expensive, but there is still a spread, so it's still a better thing right now to mint through the Friday weekly mint. But after Friday, it's like during the week, it's all market buys. So, but on Fridays you can claim on Saturdays. So it's, if you look at sometimes how the protocols work, there might be a little premium that you can get by going through the route of the actual protocols system versus buying it on market. But both things are equally, they're really not equally though, because when you really look at like how Awesome X works, like if you just buy off market, you're not contributing to the Dragon X vault. You're not burning Dragon X. Like it's not adding to the 70% buy and burn. So, on market, everybody could do whatever they want to do, but it really is best to mint through these protocols pathways in order to really support the whole ecosystem.
And that sentence, Dave, is the reason that we are doing automatic hydro miners. We wanted to pick. So we thought, not Titan. We have a couple options. We could have done Helios miners. We could have done Titan X miners, or we could do Hydra miners, or we could do Hyper miners. We have there's a lot of options out there. But Hydra is like, new kid on the block. So we thought, well, let's just do this one. So, literally, we did some analysis on it, but we thought Hydra was probably the best one, like biggest bang for the buck for the participants. So that's why we went in with that Hydras. We are sticking with the standard 8% dev fee, just like everybody does. Now, I'm very hopeful that this time the team will be able to do something with the dev fee, because as we know from last time, Baby Dragon X, Gwei went from the 30s or 40s up to 180. So when you created your new miner in Helios, it cost $100.
Right, I remember that.
Remember those days?
I do remember that.
And for Baby Dragon X, we launched a couple days after Helios, maybe 2 to 3 days. So in order to mint your Baby Dragon X, minimum was $35. Maximum was like $90. $90. So I think that's one reason we had less than 60 participants. We did 135 billion, which
we had 60 participants, less than 60 on
Baby
day
Dragon
one of
X.
Baby Dragon X. Wow. Oh man, 60. See, I was in on that. Like I was day one there, and I got in at 3 billion. That's the only regret I have, and it's not even a regret; it's a learning experience. But
definitely learning.
I should not have faded my Baby Dragon X. I should not have done it. It was the dark times. Actually, if 1 week is like a month, this was like 4 months or 5 months.
It was months. There were like 2 to 3 weeks where there's no swaps at all. Like no Baby Dragon X swaps. I never sold any. I bought some. I didn't buy enough. By the way, 3 billion.
You didn't buy enough. These are the lessons, man.
We don't have enough Titan X. We don't have enough 280. We don't have enough Awesome X.
It's
you
true.
don't have enough Scale. You don't have enough Volt. Like nobody
It's
has
true.
enough of it.
It's very true. And we're so early when we're going to all be like, man, we should have loaded up way more on some of these things, but we're really early. Like everybody listening to this stream right now, 171 people on this stream right now. Everybody, we are really early.
By the way, Dave, just to let you know, 3 billion Baby Dragon X is currently worth $67,000.
Right. Right.
Who knew that? You don't know.
You know what? And I got in. It was I probably put in $750.
Yeah, right.
It
was about $250 a billion. Yeah, that's
right.
Is it how things happen?
Learn the lessons, guys. Don't fade BOT protocols. Not
absolutely.
Advice, don't fade zero, but the experiment is working. So,
and I would say, don't fade the BOTs. The founders are working together. It's not just Jake works with, it's not just Jake works with Eric. It's not just Jake jumps on one stream here and there. Jake is really in it, but it's the whole group of founders. We are also in it together. We bounce ideas off each other. We join each other's streams. We do all these types of things. The founders are just an additional layer that makes this powerful. Our community is the best. Our community is the best. And we just have a great potential to build on top of.
Yeah.
Allow me just to slide through these next things that are just easy numbers. 35% of the Titan X or ETH, whichever that combination is, we are going to convert it to Dragon X and send it to the BDX buy and burn. So our BDX buy and burn, by the way, I just looked at it. We've burned almost $500,000 of BDX.
Whoa.
Almost 500,000 of BDX. So it was 136 billion initially. I think we're down to 117 billion. At today's prices, we have burned that much. I think I've got it on the screen here. 400. Can you see the screen? Is it sharing properly?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've burned 443,000. We've burned 15% of the supply. So it's on.
And you still have $22,000 worth of Dragon X that will buy and burn BDX.
And there's going to be so much more. Yes, there is. I mean, we've got Element X revenue that we can pour in here. We've got obviously Scale is going to be dropping some more in here. So yeah.
I can't wait for Scale. I'm really so we're gonna keep running through these numbers and then we're gonna get to win, right? Are we gonna
right?
Okay. Cool.
There will be some more alpha. I'll share a little bit later, just because you're the first one.
Yes.
There's a 1% Genesis with no expectations. Who knows what? That's just there. It's really there in case of an emergency, in case something is needed for something. 5%. We're gonna do this. 5% of all the Titan X will go to the Dragon X and the Helios Vault Treasury, 5% each. We want to support both those protocols in that manner. And then we get to the 11%. So 11% is allocated to automatically start Hydra miners. This doesn't include the $10,000 we already did. That was worth 13 miners, most of which have been claimed. 11% of our mint is going to start Hydra miners, of which there'll be an admin key of all we can do is turn the number of days. Like that's all we can do. So that should add up to 100. I haven't checked my math lately, but if it doesn't add up to 100, we'll fix it. Wow. So that should add up to 100. So as you can see, there's no marketing. There's no marketing percentage in here. There's no expenses wallet in here. There's no future rewards wallet. There's none of that. We are heavily leveraging the Scale Mint to really push to create new Hydra miners, to create some nice liquidity pools, and to build up the BDX buy and burn. So that's why there's none of
the Hydra miners in here. Are you going to create kind of like a ladder where you could create them like a daily for a while, so then it can have revenue coming in for a while? Or are you going to do them all at once?
Oh, so we can you can do 20 at one time. I think the minimum is 4 that we will kick off at a time, and it's a maximum of 20 at a time. So we have there's 2,000 total miners that can be on a particular wallet. So we've actually made an allowance for that in case we do get to 2,000 miners. We can actually, there's an admin key that allows us to flip, and then we can choose a new wallet for our new miners.
Cool.
So we're thinking way ahead, and we will the strategy will be well discussed and documented, and we're going to run things through the DAO. We're going to run DAO votes. There will be DAO votes. There will be in Telegram votes and that type of thing. Where can people see all this? Well, the Dragon's Hoard is where everything is going to be. Currently, what you can see here is just the marketing wallet, the grant wallet, and the future rewards wallet. Right there, you can see that. Element 280, well, our dev is so busy, he hasn't created this section yet. So this is going to show the revenue that's coming in from Element 280, the distribution and the revenue, that's going to be here. When you scroll down a little bit further, there's going to be Scale. So Scale is going to have Hydra miners and reflections and things like that. So the Dragon's Hoard is kind of like, just like for those of you who saw The Hobbit, or do you know what dragons are at all, you know that they always sleep on their treasure, right? They're sleeping on the treasure with one eye open, and they're ready for anybody who's trying to come in there and take any of your treasure. Well, we are showing the treasure right there publicly, because this is the holder's treasury. This is the DAO. This is not James. This is owned by everyone.
Wow, cool.
So we let that sink in there for a moment. Did you have any questions? I'll give a pause. Were there any questions that came through the chat, or you would like to ask any before we talk about some simple tokenomics?
No, I think I was kind of getting my questions in while you were talking. I think it's pretty cool what you're doing, because there's multiple. I mean, it's simple, but you're kind of saying, okay, how do we want to continually generate new revenue automatically from the initial mint, right? It's like people are going to initially mint, but how does that initial mint allow perpetual revenue to continually enter the ecosystem, even without additional inputs from people? So I think that, and you're saying it's like any business, actually, any successful business, multiple revenue streams. And so you're kind of building that in the very beginning, in my view of what you're doing. And then, and it's going to be a capped supply. So you're only going to be minting for 14 days, but each day is not like you get, if you get in day one, it's going to be the same. You're going to know how much you're going to get, or you get in day 13 and a half, you're going to know how much you get. And it's the same, right? From day 1 to day 13 and a half. And then you're not going to be able to, you can claim your stuff and it'll be in your wallet, but you can't use it until day 15 and on, because the LPs will not actually be active they might be active, but there's not. So I guess there's a mechanic there. I don't really wrap my head around yet about the it'll make sense when you say it again, because I probably just forgot it, but like the LPs scale will not
they're just not activated. So
they're just not activated.
They're just not activated, right? So if the scale token is not tradable or it's not activated
until day 15, and then so basically it's almost like a 15-day miner in a way. You'll get the scale in your wallet, but like you can't do anything with it for 15 days. But that's the fair distribution model of scale.
Absolutely. And we did have one question come in earlier. I'll address the question. I don't think I'm going to ask it in the chat yet. So one person asked, we love questions, by the way. Stop in our Telegram and ask your questions, and because we truly listen to your questions, and we've actually shaped the protocol because of some of these great ideas. So you may notice that there is no Scale Titan X LP. We intend to create an extra one, like a kind of one that sits outside the protocol. We intend to create that one, but we really want to kick this off first with with so much volume happening with Scale, BDX, Scale Hydra, Scale Dragon X, we want the majority of the volume to be kicked through there. Afterwards, maybe it's a day later, maybe it's a week later or more, we are thinking about making a Titan X and Scale LP if it's needed. If it looks like everything's running really, really well without it, then of course we won't do it. But that's in the rafters. We are willing and open to do that. Someone else will probably do it anyways. You know, there's that really interesting group, Titans LP. I remember getting. I don't know if you're in there. You probably are. I got invited in there when there were 30 people because I asked some questions about LPs, and then I got super busy, obviously doing some things. I looked back and saw there were 400 plus people in there, and I was behind 4,000 messages. So a lot of people started joining that thing, and there's great. I mean, there's people in there. They really know their LPs. You know,
I have a lot to learn about LPs. LPs are the game underneath the game.
Yeah,
I got a lot to learn.
You are right about that. Luckily, there's great people in the community to teach us and to share with us.
Yeah, Johnny Papa Vega is a great one to teach people.
Yeah.
And then Mike Dean, if you join the premium Titan X Hub the Elite, he has these LP workshops that he offers people. And then obviously Sreyox isn't really teach everybody LPs, but Srey, you know, does LPs and is big into LP. And then we have McKinsey is a great community member who does incredible work with LPs and other diagrams and you got to follow McKinsey on X. So
I do, of course.
We have a really tight, strong community who cares about who cares about the knowledge of the community. We don't want people to just be doing things without knowing what they're doing. Like we have people in the community, like if you want to learn something, you can go learn it. And know about it, you know, do your own. This community allows you to really do your own research in multiple ways with people who care about you. So, you know, do your own research by joining the Titans of LP on Telegram and asking your questions to Johnny Papa Vega. Now he's actually he's doing a token now.
Is he? Wait, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I think it's him and Mello and another one. It's called Warp. And I think they're building on Hyper. And so I'm excited to see what that is. But yeah, man, we got some good, smart people in here. So when you can do your own research, but you can actually go straight to like the smart people and ask them the questions that you have about specific things. Like when you're looking at LPs, just go ask Johnny and like, you know, he'll respond to you. Like these people are real people. They care about you. And they care about the whole community.
They take time out of their day.
Yeah.
They, you know, they'll even jump in a DM with you and like, you know, sharing your screenshots and everything. It's fantastic. There's so much pay it forwards and pay it back. There's so much of that in this community. It's unbelievable. It's like a dream come true. It's honestly like a dream come true.
It is.
So off to tokenomics. There's a little bit more here with Pumpamentals. The first time I saw the word Pumpamentals, I snickered. And the second time I saw this I always snicker when I see this word. I don't know why. It's a funny word. So in order to sustain these reflections, there's got to be some tax. So the tax is actually, we can actually turn the tax up and turn the tax down.
So that's also kind of like another kind of revenue stream. Like after the mint is over, the taxes can kind of act as another revenue stream that can come into the protocol.
Absolutely. And we're not keeping much for us. Like, you know, the amount, like there's going to be a tiny little bit that goes to buy the BDX buy and burn, only 0.5%. A very tiny slice will go to marketing wallet. A very small amount will go to burn scale, and a little bit will go to incentive. That's incentive to buy and burn, right? So the reflections can be anywhere from a minimum of 1.5%, and we can turn the dial all the way up to 6%. So whenever we turn that dial, obviously the tax goes up too. So we will initially set it. I think we're going to initially
set
a
value cap adjustment. So is that like, okay, cool. So it would be like, when you would trade, you would have to change your slippage
yes.
to trade. Okay.
You will have to change your slippage of trade. Absolutely. Yep. No magic lanterns there. So the great thing is, though, you're holding your scale, and you're going to get those. I first learned about reflections in Pulsar. So Pulsar was that little game. It was Elon Musk. Now, Elon Musk, when he was a teenager, he created a game. So late teenager. So he created this game called Pulsar, and it was like a little battleship or something like that.
Oh wow.
So yes. But so on Pulse Chain, what they did was they called the token Pulsar, and you could play a version of the game on their website. You didn't get tokens for it, but you could just play it. They had up to 25% tax. It may have even been higher. So either 25 or 30% tax, and the majority of the sell tax went to reflections. There you had to claim it. Like on Pulse Chain, you had to claim it. So yeah, really, really interesting. And I got lucky in that. I got in. The market cap was a little under 2 million, and I rode that thing up to over 18 million. I didn't have a lot in there, but the reflections were incredible. Like so much volume. So you could earn quite a bit if you had a good position in Pulsar and you held it. You really could do well in that. So that was where I first got interested in reflections.
Cool.
And these types of things. So that's how it's going to work. And it's going to work until it'll continue on. If we start to hear people talking about in the Telegram, I wish the tax was lower. And if someone wants to call for a DAO vote, we're happy to call a DAO vote and then change. What would you like the reflections to be? Would you like it to be 1.5% or 3 or 4.5 or 6? These will be the dials that can be turned to. So we can't just turn that thing up to 20. We can't turn it down to 0 either. It's one of these 4.
Cool. All right. And so, but the scale holders will benefit from that.
Yes. Scale holders benefit. So hold that scale. And then it's like this reminds me of like what was the guy, Captain America, like Shield in Marvel Comics. It's not quite Shield, it's Shed. So scale, Hydra, enhancement, directive. So based on, as we mentioned before, 11% of the mint will kick off Hydra miners. However, as we continue, as we continue generating revenue, we will create new miners, additional miners. So funds collected from minting will be distributed across the different links. That's the first one. But as we go, as we collect more revenue, there will be other miners created later. There can be other miners created later. So that's kind of a longer term vision. Quite a few miners we imagine. Quite a few Hydra miners will be created at the beginning. And like you were saying, what do you think about ladder strategy? Well, I love ladder strategy. I'm always ready to do a ladder strategy no matter what the protocol is. I did it in Titanex, I did it in Hyper, I did it in Helios, and I personally did it in Hydra. And we also did it with the initial 10,000. We did a bit of a ladder. So there will be ladder strategy, and we will listen to the community, and we will do our own, research and recommendations. And the idea is to earn as much Hydra as possible, because we can turn that Hydra back into new miners. We can use some of the Hydra to go, 30% will go to the BDX buy and burn. That's extremely bullish. That's really bullish. That 22,000 that you saw in the buy and burn, I don't want to even guess how much that will be after this 14 days. I mean, it could be 100,000. It could be more. It certainly could be more. So we love a healthy buy and burn. In fact, right now the buy and burn's turned off. I don't know what our market cap is, but we've been floating between 1.9 million and 3.1 million. We've been up and down, all around there. So we turned it off. The community asked, let's just turn it off and save it. We don't need it right now. So we ran a DAO vote. I think it was 85% of people said turn it off. So we turned it right off. And then there'll be some scale reserve of which we're going to hold in one of our most bullish tokens, DragonX. So we're going to hold that 40% until we decide how do we want to do it. If Hydra is doing really well, we'll start more Hydra miners. If BDX is doing well, but we want to dump more into the buy and burn, there's going to be a DAO vote on it. Do we want to put some into the farms? Do we want to just pour it back in the grant wallet and wait for our next collaboration? So there's quite a bit that we can do as a reserve. We're keeping this flexible because you never know how the protocols are going to go. So we want to have it flexible there.
Cool.
So that's that one. What I am not going to do is go through the diagram because the diagram.
But there is a diagram. So
there is a beautiful diagram. You can, even if I try to scale it up, it's big. But take a look at the diagram. You know, if you have questions, stop in the Telegram. It's kind of like a flow chart, right? When you first come in, you mint with ETH or TitanX. You get a bonus based on if you're holding, you know, based on that snapshot. If you were holding BDX, DragonX, and or DragonX NFTs, then you get a bonus. You mint the scale. Then we've got, you know, the amount of liquidity is created. We point over here to the right. There's liquidity pools. Then we talk about kind of the vaults. 11% down here is going to start immediate Hydra miners. Then there's the dev fee, etc. It's basically the white paper that we've just taken to make it a little bit visual. Some people might look at it and say, oh my goodness, it's too much on one page. But you don't have to worry because all of this is in the white paper. So if you like diagrams, which Mike Dean loves diagrams, and I can't wait to see his. If you like diagrams and you're a visual person, stop by here and look at it. If you're a reader, then stay in the white paper and click around. I'm just going to say that the ethos of scale, the reason we created this was to build value for baby DragonX holders. Some people have been here since day one, right? They got in on day one and they never sold a piece. They never sold one token. Or maybe they got in on day later, maybe they got on day 30, day 40, day 50. They bought at a low and they've taken profits. We love all of it. You know, I like to operate. I don't believe crypto is real until you've taken some profits. So that's just my personal opinion. So the ethos of scale is to really create value for baby DragonX holders. It is to boost the other protocols by creating Hydra miners. We're going to have a constant stream into those miners. By us having those additional liquidity pools, we have to buy AwesomeX, and we have to buy other, you know, we have to buy Element 280 and create these. So everything that we do will optimize and increase BDX value. That is the goal. There are no guarantees because we are not financial advisors. We're lucky any of the stuff even works, as Jake likes to say.
And it does, you know, I mean, it's working. You know, this is an experiment that has been, you know, hyper deflationary fair launch experiment that Jake kind of built the foundation for all of us to build on. And then we're building hyper deflationary protocols on top of them and really just innovating within a certain very flexible bound. It's not a flexible boundary. So there's a solid boundary for build on TitanX. It's very clear, but within that very clear boundary, we can be as creative as possible. And that's where the real innovation is happening. As long as it's fair for everybody, it doesn't even have to be hyper deflationary to be built on TitanX, but that's really something that is happening, you know, overall through a lot of the protocols. So, and cap supplies, I mean, it doesn't even have to be cap supply to be deflationary, but sometimes people will think so, but this is cap supply. And actually, people are really liking the cap supplies because the cap supplies are having those blast off moments, you know.
We hope to have another blast off moment. Like, who knows what it's going to be? I mean, let's just say that on let's just say the day before day 369, we're at like 3 million market cap. What could happen? I mean, a 10x. I think a lot of protocols are going to do 10x's on day 369. I don't know about ours, but I think some protocols are going to do 10x's. There may be even some 50x's that kick off of it. It all depends on where people shift their focus. It
Yeah.
depends on how that buy and burn is deployed. So Eric and Jake, there's a lot of power in those fingers for those millions of dollars that are going to come out of that buy and burn, as well as the dude in Helios. Now he runs it through a DAO, so he may or may, depending on certain decisions go through DAO, most of them go through the DAO. So between these three people, right, the dude and Eric and Jake, there's a lot of there's a lot of power they have in order to deploy that buy and burn. And depending on how they do it, it's all going to affect things differently based on who does one first. Maybe one of them burns hot. Maybe one of them burns slower. Maybe when one turns it down, the other turns it up. It's going to be fun. Like, all I know is it's going to be a lot of fun. I'd like to add one thing that I didn't say earlier. I made a couple notes here, and one of our team, by the way, is amazing. Our team participated heavily in the architecture of Scale. I wanted to mention that because this, Baby Dragon X was the brainchild of two people. It was Michael and myself. Eric came in and gave us a lot of amazing ideas for tokenomics, and he also suggested a baby dragon instead of a white dragon. So Eric, I consider him, extremely valuable.
When you say Michael, who's Michael?
Oh, Michael was if you look in the Baby Dragon X white paper or the dragon paper, Michael was the co-founder of Baby Dragon X.
Oh, okay. Is he? Or you're the face, but he's.
Yes. So yes, absolutely.
We don't know Michael.
I was always the face of it. He's not. So he's only doxed through Twitter. He was never doxed through Faces or speaking. He preferred not to.
Yeah, sure. No worries. I was just wondering. I didn't know if I knew Michael.
Yeah. You haven't met Michael or
cool.
Probably spoken.
Okay. Well, I'll look forward to it one day at the Titan X party. Michael, you got to be there, bro.
I hope he does come.
IRL.
I hope he comes in real life. I'd like to meet him in real life. That's for certain. I'd like to add one thing because we got some notes over here. So those liquidity pools, by the way, are not just going to be used by humans. These ARB bots, these arbitration bots, are going crazy in the Titan X ecosystem. They're all over Baby Dragon X. They're all in Helios. They're in Titan X. These bots are looking for ways to earn a percentage. 1% over here, 2% over here, 3% over here. Got to balance the gas and all these types of things. It's a very rich ecosystem of bots. We expect bots to be in our tiny liquidity web, right? It's not a huge liquidity web like E280s. They've got a monstrous one. But we expect the bots to come in and help us also create volume. When the bots create volume, that's good for the scale holders because it just gives us more. It just
more
gives us
tax.
more reflections. More reflections.
Right. We're utilizing bots also, like the strategy behind what the bots are going to do. That's where some of these taxes actually are. It's less for the people trading and it's more to pay the people who are holding, utilizing the activity of the bots. Very cool.
Is exactly right. I don't know how many conversations I had with Punky or the dude where we're talking about we're talking about liquidity webs on Pulse Chain, on Base, and in the Titan X ecosystem. We've been talking about this stuff for months and months and months. We've all
that's great.
Yeah. These bots, it's like a machine economy. It's basically a machine economy. So yeah, it's fantastic. When bots are out there swapping back and forth, usually they make money, but not always. Some bots don't do well. But the people who will earn are the holders of Scale. If you hold Scale, you're going to get more Scale. It's just going to keep coming.
You're not going to have to claim it. It's just going to show up in your wallet, is what you're saying.
That is the intention. We have to get through all the audits to make sure that is a flawless system. However, that's the way we want it to work. Yes.
Cool.
We prefer not to have claims. I mean, claims cost money, and then you have to remember to do it and all this other kind of stuff. So we prefer reflections. We prefer
reflections versus claims. I see. So it's kind of when you're, okay. So reflections and claims are similar. but the difference is that you don't have to claim reflections, but you do have to claim claims.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you have to claim if you stake and you get rewards or something like that, you got to claim.
It's like Awesome X. You mint on Friday, you claim on Saturday, but there is no late claim penalty. So, I mean, you could let it sit in the claim for as long as you need to, and then you can always come back and claim. But you have to claim. When you mint on Friday, you got to claim on Saturday, or you got to claim it later.
Are you talking about some other protocol?
I'm talking about Awesome X, like just because.
Oh yeah, Awesome X, right.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like when you on Awesome X, when you mint on Friday, you do have to claim on Saturday, but there's no late claim penalty. So it's kind of like maybe in one sense, if you did have to claim, if for some reason you're going through the artists and you're like, oh well, we got to claim. But I was just saying the difference between reflections and claims. It's kind of the similar. Because it's what you can get, but with reflections you don't have to claim them. With claims you do have to claim them, whether or not there's a late claim penalty or not depends on the protocol. But if you did have to claim, would there be a late claim penalty, or would there not be? I mean, not that you're going to have to, because you're going to do reflections.
Yeah, I probably won't ever have claim penalties. I don't think I want claim penalties. I think that they have a great place. I think they've been well architected in the current protocols.
Right.
But I don't think any of my protocols in the future will have late claim. I don't think I'll do that.
I agree. Yeah, I'm right there with you. But I do see the benefit for them in Titan X and in Helios. But I don't really want them either. In new pro, unless there's a reason for them, unless there's like, hey, here's a specific reason that we have these late claim penalties. Maybe it's part of the game theory of something, Yeah.
Exactly. I'd like to read something here that we kind of put together. It's kind of like a simplistic statement that maybe kind of sums it up. Think of Scale as your way to benefit from the entire Dragon X ecosystem, where holding it rewards you with passive yield, similar to earning dividends. As the Dragon X ecosystem thrives and grows, Scale continues to give you a direct share of its own value through consistent reflections, all while becoming rarer itself. So cool. That is kind of the final thoughts there.
The idea is that, it's programmed to be deflationary. So it's programmed in the code to, be more scarce over time. So the floor price is coded to, hopefully, acting the way it's supposed to act, rise over time. And that is paired with getting returns in Scale tokens based upon the revenue that's generated from this protocol.
Absolutely. I think that's well summed up. I think that's very, very, very well summed up. Cool. Should I stop sharing? How do I do that?
Let me do that for you.
Yeah. I did it. I don't know if it worked on there.
It worked.
So
that's 90 great.
Minutes.
Thanks for revealing Scale. Oh man. So I like what you're doing. There's so many, you're taking the pieces of what's been working and you're kind of saying, what do we want to do here? And you're putting that stuff together. Yeah, I really think it's, I'm excited for it. So are we going to hear the when launch, or are we still waiting on some?
Yeah. So audit number 1 took, I think, around 6 days. I think it was 6 days, maybe 7 days. So audit number 1, there were a lot of things found, because it's a fairly sophisticated protocol. I think I told the story on a different stream, on the weekly Titan X. I mentioned this. So our first auditor, I've worked with him before, and he's done other Titan X audits. I asked him, if a token, like a simple token contract, is a 1 in complexity, and another project has 20 smart contracts with high interaction, and waiting for this contract to kick off other things, that's a 10. So super complex is like a 10, and super simple as a 1.
Like E280 would probably be a 10 on the back end anyway.
So I would
But it's
probably
also
say
the easy button. It's a 1 on the front end and a 10
yeah,
on
it's
the
a
back
1 on
end.
the front end. It's a 1 on the front end. So I won't comment what the auditor said about 280, but what they said was ours is more complex. Ours is between a 7 and an 8.
Whoa.
And I thought, oh my goodness, why is it so complex? But it's complex because of the automatic miners, because of because you're able to wind the tax up and down, because of those liquidity pools that are created out, because of the way that we, allocate the taxes with the buy and burn or with the buy and burns. There's a lot going on in there, which is why the audits, number one, were expensive. And we did the first audit. Like I said, the first audit was complete, and there was a laundry list of things. All of them were resolved. Everything was resolved. Audit number 2 kicked off 2 days ago, 2.5, 3 days ago. If audit 2 comes up with more than 3 issues, we will do a third audit, because that tells me that there might be something else out there, and we don't want any issues. We'll have another set of eyes. We will invest the additional money. We know who it'll be. It'll be one of the auditors who audited Titan X. Actually, they're very, very good. I've worked with them before too on Baby Dragon X. If we need a third audit, we will utilize this other one, assuming they're available. But so let's say that we had like 11 issues that needed resolved in the first audit. If we have 3 or more in this audit, we will do a third audit, which I never thought I would say. But these audits catch things.
Right.
Different auditors look at things differently.
Critical.
And it can be super critical.
It's critical to do audits. It's crucial to do audits because this is just code. And so, we have great developers, building this stuff, but the auditors need to be into the picture, and it's a good thing that you're doing multiple audits. We did multiple audits too on Awesome X. We actually had 3 because we did 2 PPVs afterwards. So we did the first one, fixed everything, and then we did 2 PPVs, which is the pay per vulnerability, which basically
pay per vulnerability. Okay.
So that actually incentivizes auditors or hackers to try to hack the code, and if they find a vulnerability, they get paid for it. So
maybe we should do that. Can you connect this? Can you connect this to any
nice.
PPVs?
Yeah, they're nice, but cool.
Because we'll definitely do something. Like I said, we want this to be a flawless launch, and the only way to do a flawless launch is to have flawless code. So that's the only way. So we are willing to invest what is needed to protect the community. Whether the community invests $1 or $100,000, everyone is important, and I want to make sure everyone has the safest experience possible.
Yeah, for sure. That's great. Well, I'm really excited about Scale. So this is great alpha. Hopefully, you guys. We have 206 people on the stream right now. So
wow,
everybody!
I can't wait to boost this. I can't wait to slice this up into clips and then pop this thing out. That's going to be great. This is it's ShreyX says, there's been a lot of good quotes in here. ShreyX says, this sounds like what the PTGC UFO token is doing. So I bought the UFO token, and I love the Grays currency. I love what they do. I got in January.
And that's a reflection system, right? I don't know much about that system because I'm a Titan X Maxi, so I don't know how to go over there, but
yeah, that's a whole thing to learn over there. You gotta really dive in there. You know who really knows is the Prairie Banana. So if you ever want to know the Grays currency, just to give Prairie Banana here.
Actually, I love his channel. I haven't followed it too much recently because I literally am working 16-hour days and doing all this.
Right.
But I'm gonna sleep later. I have my pockets.
Right.
No rest till 2026. I definitely need some sleep before 2026, but no rest while I'm awake. No Netflix.
No Netflix like hanging out on the island.
Yeah. So the bot arbs for the PTGC, that's cool. Cool.
That is really, really
Collections on
cool.
steroids. I got you. That's interesting. Okay. All right. I'm wrapping my head around that now. Guys, there's been some great alpha on here. Every time I do a stream with anybody, especially James, I get so much new alpha. And yeah, exactly. This is Stray says no rest till the bull run's over. Yeah,
exactly. No rest till the bull run is over.
That's why 2026, like, it's time when we are at the right place at the right time. And I've never been here before, at the right place at the right time, with the right community, the right builders, the right protocols, fair launch, hyperdeflation. Like this is a revolutionary place we're in. In fact, like when I don't know the real stats. So if someone wants to correct me and find the real stats here, but think about this. How many people in the whole world are in crypto right now? It's probably around 5% is what I would estimate. Maybe someone can give me the real stats. But 5% of the world population. But then out of that 5%, how many people are in DeFi? And it's probably more like 1% or maybe 8% of the crypto people are in DeFi. Most people would be in Shiba Inu or, even XRP. That wouldn't be DeFi. And then it's like, so then out of those like 8% of the 5%, how many people are in Titan X? And that's literally probably a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a percent. Because it's like 17,000 wallets, but 17,000 wallets, I have like 15 wallets or more. Like Stray's got like 40 wallets. So it's like, really, how many holders are there? And once that number of wallets goes from 17,000 to 300,000, which is not that hard to get with a really great solid foundation like we have, there's going to be a lot of revenue that comes in as Titan X is more expensive. And so there's something, and with all these builders building on it, we are so early. Now there's a huge catalyst happening. So, on 369, which is literally 11 days away. So it's like, not only are we early, there's a massive catalyst coming that is going to print green candles. Not financial advice, but this is what I think is going to happen. And once that happens, it's great marketing. The best marketing is the green candle marketing. It's like, how do you build a protocol that actually goes up in value and is deflationary over time? Well, that's the nut to crack, because when we go to sleep every day, it'd be better if we woke up and our money was worth a little bit more than it was the day before.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
Yes. Because the US dollar or whatever currency you're using, the Vietnamese dong, the Singapore dollar, the ruble, those are inflationary, right? The government
only inflationary and hyperinflationary at the moment for the dollar. It's like, every day we go to sleep and every day we wake up, everything is more expensive. And it doesn't. So it's like asset prices are going up, right? People are like, oh, my house is worth so much more. But actually, that's a scam too, because it's not that your house is worth that much more. It's that your dollar's worth that much less. So it takes that many more dollars to buy the same house. So you think it's a scam. Like, it's the hyperinflation is a scam by the elite cabal that literally do not like humanity. They think there's too many people on the planet and they want to get rid of people. It's like, are you pro-human or are you anti-human? Well, this is what I love about our ecosystem, is that we care about people, and
we care about each and every person that participates. Yeah,
it's fair. The fairness is so critical to the future of this. And not only that, the hyperdeflation is something that is going to, like, literally, like, we're not going to the moon, guys. We've been talking on the Telegram. We're going to the Pluto. Like,
we're passing all those planets: Neptune, Uranus, Jupiter, all of them. We're just going straight up.
We're going to the Pluto. But we have something special here, and we're early. And a lot of people are going to see this and come into this after, things really start moving. So I'll like I said, I've learned my lessons about fading any BOT protocols, and I work with Baby Dragon X, and but this is just the beginning. Like, as long as we learn the lessons and kind of move forward with the lessons learned, instead of kind of kicking ourselves for making wrong decisions or whatever, we don't need to do that. We just need to learn from it and move forward, because there's plenty of protocols coming, and they're all paired to, like, now mint Awesome X, you're actually building a Dragon X position because it's paired with Dragon X. And so it's like when you mint Scale, you're building a position in multiple ecosystems.
BDX, Awesome X,
Right.
E280.
This is a different
I
way to
love
look.
how it's all tied together. Literally, it becomes more genius. The more you delve into it, the more genius it becomes, right?
It is. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I can now. So Viper, not Viper, but Volt on all of the wheel. So let me plug my computer in real quick.
I had that happen. I was on a stream and I was down to 3%. I think it was with you. I was down to 3%, and I ducked. I didn't even tell you what I was doing. I just like ducked down because I was afraid I was going to lose it. What's it called?
The Volt wheel is the Volt wheel is gonna. It's gonna be a frenzy. It's like when you put the little goldfish food in the goldfish thing and all. So what's going to happen? It's very interesting because right now everybody is vying for their Titan X. The Titan X liquid supply is going away, which is creating a massive amount of scarcity. But people are using this liquid Titan X to get into BOT protocols. That's the reason it's going away. It's moving to a different form of value through the BOT protocols. So people are basically stacking all their BOT stuff. The smart people are stacking it. Because but there's people that are just selling too, like taking a little profit and selling. We can do them, but the thing is that it's scary for them because the buy and burns of all these protocols are going to come and eat those up. And once all of that supply is eaten up by a machine, the only supply left is the stuff that you're holding. And so here's the thing: I don't want to sell my Inferno, but Bull is coming, Volt on Inferno. And you have to use Inferno to mint Bull. So, and he's doing that with 8 pillars. So I don't want to get rid of my E280, but gold is coming and you have to use E280 to mint gold. And so what's going to happen is there's going to be a frenzy on BOT tokens as inputs. Now, I like stacking certain coins that I don't. That's why Awesome X is actually intended to be an input token, a new input token. That's why there's a huge ratio early on because we're going to need an input token. In fact, Helios should adopt this model because we should be utilizing Helios as an input token, HLX as an input token for multiple protocols because we're going to need it because like Titan X is going away fast. It's going to get really expensive and really scarce quickly. And we're going to be like, well, now I want to participate in stuff, but it's like, I don't have enough Titan X, which we don't, but we don't have enough of any of these protocols. So the ones that we can multiply, and stack are going to be the valuable ones. But anyways, there's going to be a feeding frenzy for BOT protocols with the Volt wheel. Because
I love this image, feeding frenzy. I'm thinking piranha or sharks or feeding frenzies. I think somebody should make a GIF for that.
Here, I'll tell you in a second. But it's French press. I don't do the coffee thing with the filter. I do the French press. Anyways, but the cool thing about all this is that in order to get any of these BOT protocols, what do you need? You need Titan X. And so this is where the genius actually happens, is when the feeding frenzy of the BOTs leads to a feeding frenzy of Titan X. I mean, it's and this is what really is going to kick in that hyperdeflation. The not just 369, but 369 paired with freaking the Volt wheel. Like the Volt wheel is so innovative. And each one is 1 billion tokens. Like it's like there's these little teeny supplies of stuff. Awesome V is going to have a 1 billion total supply with an 8-day distribution period. And then perpetual auctions forever, right? It's like on all of the protocols. And now there's going to be pairs. And it's like Steve is innovating on a level I've never seen before, and it's working with Volt. Goodness, it's really working. So I love this stuff. Like Titan X is innovation. We have innovated more in this ecosystem than I've ever even, I've never been involved in an ecosystem like this. Like with Rudy innovated with hybrid NFTs, with E280 now innovating with the easy button, with you know, the Launchpad now funded on AwesomeX, and whatever's about to happen is big, guys. It's so big. I'm excited because I'm excited. Like this, because I'm a community member first. We all started here first.
Yep,
Like,
we all started community members. All of us.
We had to mine or buy Titan X to get started. And then we started building. We got excited about the Titan X foundation, and then we built. Like every single community member could become a builder, and every single builder is a community member. You know, it's such a collaborative, scalable thing because of the way it's built. We built. This is why I will never pay for marketing. And all these people that are asking me for marketing, it's like, hey guys, I'll do it for this and this. It's like, we don't need to. I don't want to. I think it's like it's up to me. It's up to us. We are the marketing team, and we're killing it. Like everybody is doing a great job. So keep it up.
It really is. I mean, it's all about the collaboration, right? And we have collaboration at every level. Collaboration at the founder level. Collaboration with the streamers. Streamers are not against each other. They don't say, "Oh, you know, my stream's better. You should come over to mine." No, nobody acts like that. The community is collaborative. Everybody is collaborative. The mods are like back in the old days when we were sharing moderators. Like, you know, we were even a mod. I think it was Titanium. He was. I don't know how Titanium finds time to sleep. He or she are just all over the place, modding like 5 different chats. So we all give back. We all give back. We share. We help each other, and we're not out to get something from someone else. It's really all about helping each other.
We're providing.
It's really magic here.
Definitely. So what do you got to say to everybody here before we end this thing? We've been going for 1 hour and 45 minutes, and it only feels like 20 minutes.
It does.
I need a coffee. I need to go make a French press coffee right now.
You must go. I've got a coffee too. It's called Café Suda. So in Vietnam, Café Suda is iced coffee. My iced coffee is long melted, but I'll be drinking that one. So you enjoy yours.
Well, I have old coffee that turns into iced coffee. I'll
right. That's what you got to do. Or if you're like some people, you pour a little bourbon into it. Maybe you're not like that. Okay. So here's what I'd like to leave you with. So if you are not in Baby Dragon X yet, it is not too late to pick up a bag, right? Whether it's $50, $100, participate in some manner. There's a lot of protocols out there. You've got Volt, you've got AwesomeX, you've got Inferno, you've got all these different protocols out there. If you didn't happen to pick up any Baby Dragon X yet, grab yourself a bag. Just grab a little bit of it and try out Scale. At least you'll have a bonus for Scale, right? And if you participate in Scale, you are helping Hydra and Dragon X and AwesomeX and Element 280. And you're participating in these, you're helping yourself, and you're helping each of these other protocols build and grow. So take a look at Baby Dragon X. If you only thought it was a cute little dragon that already did its 77X, what else can it do? It can do a lot more, because Scale is only the first of several protocols in the chute. We've already got another one that we are ideating. We may or may not collaborate with another one of the founders, because if we've got several that we can do, right? One of them is a collaboration with another founder. If they don't want to, if they're not the right timing for it, they want to do it, but if it's not the right timing, then we will launch our third protocol on our own. And the third protocol will be a leverage play on a leverage play, and it will not have Titan X it will not have Titan X for the entry. It'll be something else. Maybe it'll be AwesomeX. Maybe it'll be Volt. Maybe it'll be Helios. What HLX?
You know what? Utilize AwesomeX as an input token. Like, definitely. At least have a switch. At least have an option. Like, you could go Titan X or AwesomeX, and AwesomeX could route through whatever. Because I mean, I think it's going to be a good thing to do, because it's going to be needed for people. And then, there's a way, we actually have a greater than 2-to-1 ratio. One Titan X is greater than 2-to-1 for the first 12 weeks, which is only 10 weeks left. Then we dip below the 2-to-1. And then it doesn't even hit the first halving until week 25. Every 25 weeks, Awesome X has a halving. Every 25 weeks.
25 weeks.
Every 25 weeks, Awesome X halves from 2.8 to 1. Second 25 weeks goes to 1.4 to 1. The third 25 weeks, it goes 0.7 to 1. So basically, week 37 is the week where Awesome X dips below 1 to 1. So there's actually a nice solid 37 weeks before we even hit the 1-to-1 ratio, because it drops 2.8% every single week. But then, the final stabilization ratio is 0.08 to 1, which means it's going to cost 12.5 Titan X to mint one Awesome X at the stabilization point. And right now there's a 2.8 to 1. No, not anymore. You only got that week 1, 2.72 this week. Now it's another 2.8% more expensive on Friday. When people wrap their heads around what we're trying to do, we're trying to incentivize people early, like Titan X did, to build big bags of this, because it's going to be used as an input token. We're like that's a really powerful thing that people are going to need. Like, we're creating filling a need. What am I doing this? I'm doing this because I want to build the protocol I want to participate in, because and I know what's coming. I know what's coming on Awesome X because I'm building it, and it's a lot. It's a lot, guys. It's like so, and the ideas don't stop now. They're not stopping. So we're gonna have basically a Dragon X on Hydra and a Dragon X on Hyper, and it's on Awesome X and Hydra and Awesome X on Hyper. It's called Draco on Hydra, and it's called Drogon on Hyper. And it's a staking and mining loop. It's actually like on Hydra, it's a mining loop that loops the mines back in. It creates that revenue. Max Mines claims them, loops them back in, and then also burns Draco. And then there's Hydra. The Dragon X on Hydra, or on Hyper, is called Drogon. And what that does is that is a staking loop. So that's going to really overtake the staking pool in Hyper. But then when the staking payouts come in, they're going to recycle back into Hyper, which is going to help Hyper, help every other protocol, because that's what Hyper helps Titan X. And then part of it is going to go burn Drogon. So these are two that are coming, and they're going to be paired with Awesome X. They're going to be using Awesome X as inputs. And those are two specifically built on Awesome X and Hydra, and Awesome X and Hyper. There's another one that we're working on called Dralios, and this actually has to go through the Helios DAO. I am talking to Dude about it and about the tokenomics of it, but it is set up perfectly. HLX is set up perfectly because the input is Titan X and the staking payout is Titan X. So what we can do is a mining and staking loop. Instead of having two separate protocols to build each leg on, we build them both legs in the same protocol. So it mines and stakes. There's a Dralios vault where 50% max mines and 50% max stakes. And then all the max mines that get claimed max stake those max mines. So it is this mining and staking loop. There's an innovation here. I really wanted to do the mining staking loop, but I couldn't do it on Hyper because you have to use input of ETH. And I couldn't get back out to ETH. I couldn't get a clean pathway back out to ETH to do the mining. So I can only do staking on Hyper, and I can only do mining on Hydra. So that's why it's the dual protocol loop. But for Helios, it's doable. And why do the mining? Because the mining feeds the stakers. So yes, the stakers will get diluted by the machine, but the machine will circulate it back in. But the machine also inputs more Titan X to, if they're getting diluted, they're also getting bigger payouts. So the payouts are getting fed, and the stakers are also getting diluted. It's probably going to be a net positive over time. Now that's why this has a potential of not happening, because Dralios has to be approved by the DAO. It has to be, and that's okay. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. but I think it's an innovation that is a net positive for everybody. And all these protocols are going to be minting with AwesomeX. AwesomeX Universe is going to be AwesomeX is a new input token. And once people wrap their heads around that, it's like stacking it is literally a good idea, but not financial advice. But this is what I'm doing. Sorry, my rant.
I love it. Dave, I really like the explanation of it. I mean, I noticed that it's the input token from the first time you saw it, from the first time you talked about it. I've been thinking about it, that the next token that we do will not use TitanX, or it could be multiple. You could have TitanX or AwesomeX or Helios, or I originally wanted to do that with Scale. It was too complicated for where we are right now. It was too much. But it can be done. It absolutely can be done.
Cool. Absolutely. Well, anyways, we got big plans, guys. You know, don't fade TitanX projects, because, you know, once we get into the zone, it's like I'm dreaming white papers. I'm like, how do these white papers dump into my brain? Like I don't even know what's going on. I'm just like, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna write it down and send it to my team. And if my team hates it, like, we don't have to do it. But if my team's like, whoa, I'm like, let's go, guys. Let's do. We're funded. Like, we're funded now. Like you said, the treasury is funded. The launch pad is funded, and I'm excited about the launch pad because I don't even know what's coming with that. People are gonna. We have had a few submissions, and I'm working with a couple people right now to try to get their submissions ready to submit. There's some good ideas out there, and people don't need to worry about, I can't do my idea because I can't fund it. You know,
I don't have $25,000. I don't have this. I don't have the expertise. I don't know how to moderate a community. Like everyone's got different things they can do, or it's the things that they can't do. So
yes, it's about the idea. Fantastic. The right idea makes the money not an issue. It's like, don't worry about the money. Worry about the idea. Don't worry about anything, actually, but think about the idea. The idea is the key. And if you have when the right idea comes, because not every idea is the right idea, but every idea leads to the right idea. And so, you know, when the right idea reveals itself, money's not an issue.
I firmly believe this also. I really, really, really do.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Dave. My goodness, we have really taken it. This is definitely our longest stream, even though we can't remember exactly how many streams we've had. For sure, this is the longest one. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for allowing me to share. I think we've talked about a lot of other projects as well in TitanX because we love them, right?
Do we not? So basically, we're holding on the date because we're waiting for audits. Right. That's the reason.
Yeah. Let's swing back to that, because I don't feel like a politician that never answered the question. So we are in audit number 2 right now, right? Audit number 2. This is a very well-respected audit firm that has done multiple audits within TitanX. So they are, I haven't looked for 48 hours, I haven't looked in the audit chat. But if they find 3 or more vulnerabilities, we will either do a PPV or another full audit. So I don't know how many we found already, but something tells me we're going to have a third audit. Something tells me. And we will not launch until this code is clean.
Is there a goal date, or, like, you know, I know you don't
I think we have to launch. So November 18th is my birthday, and I would love to launch. I would love to launch before November 18th. I'll be 56. I'll be 56.
Awesome.
I would love to launch before the birthday. I mean, that would be nice, even though it's a 14-day fair launch. Yeah, I would like to. We certainly have to launch in November. We don't want to drag this thing out. We'll launch as soon as the code is safe.
Cool.
And we're going to check in with Jake, because Jake has some things about the numerology and the dates and all that type of thing. We are definitely going to sync with him on suggested dates. So Hexatitan, what's he saying? Scale will end up LPing everything in Dragon X, concentrated E280 basically, but you get to keep your money makers liquid. Good point, Hexatitan. He's very well spoken. He really understands this protocol.
The concentrated easy button. Scale is the concentrated easy button in the Dragon X kingdom.
So to give you a date, I would like to launch before November 10th. Let's just say that. That's 20 days from today. I think that's probably doable. And
Awesome.
I don't know what the numerology looks like. Maybe
But you
there's
know
a
what?
certain
One more
day.
day. Now it's 11/11. That kind of sounds cool.
Yeah. They always say 11/11 make a wish. Like there's
Something
that
like
whole
that.
thing, 11/11 make a wish. So yeah,
Cool. Well, I'm
we'll see.
excited
It's going
about
all good.
Scale. I'm going to be in day one on Scale. So
Awesome.
I'm
Come
stoked.
on in. Come on
Yeah.
in.
Great work, James, on everything. And so really we appreciate you a ton. I appreciate you as what you've contributed to this whole community from the very beginning. I mean, being the first project to build on Dragon X, you know, really just seeing the exponential like rise of Baby Dragon X was just like so incredible to see. It sucked that I was out while it was happening, but like because you don't see those coming. That's
You
why,
don't, even I didn't see it coming.
right.
I'm right there, and we went from 47K to 150K, and somebody said, "Hey, we just did a 3x." I said, "Ah, great. Now, I wonder what'll happen from now till day 369." And then we went to 300,000. I thought, wow, 300. So that's like a 6x. All right, so we did a 6x. From 300,000, it really shot up. It went from 300 to 800 to a million to 1.2 to 1.6. It just kept going. It was like within an 11-day period. And the first handful of days was the 47,000 to the 150 to the 300. Everybody thought 300 was where it was going to be because it stopped at 300 for a little while. And I thought that was, that's fine. We did a 6x. People are interested. And then just went up and up, went up and went up. So it's great. I love that we have very loyal community members. They love to share their opinions. They're very excited about Scale.
And then you stabilize. That was the key part. Like the stabilization happened up there. It didn't go back down to where it was before. It stayed and stabilized. And now you're primed. Your RSI is reset and primed again. When I'm looking at your chart, it's like the RSI is now ready again for something else, whatever that means. And I think
something was on the wing.
Not just Scale, but 369 is actually a huge catalyst for Baby Dragon X.
Yeah.
So that might be something that we don't see coming either. Not just for Baby Dragon X this time, for everything paired with
everything
Titan X in general.
It could change everything. Like day 369, when the people who have the power to click those buy and burns, turns those knobs. Like I said, it's really the dude at Helios, and it's really Eric, and it's really Jake. The flow of which they have that buy and burn come out is going to it's going to change everything. It's going to change everything. So I know that they'll make good decisions. I trust them. Back in the old days, I wondered, do they know what they're doing? But you know what? Now that I've seen them all in action, they do know. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
So we're going to pull up the chart here real quick before we get off, just to look at this chart on Baby Dragon X. Oh, look at that. I mean, look at that. It's beautiful, bro. It's like, what? And this is the daily here. Like, let's actually, since you have enough data, let's go to the weekly here. I like looking at weeklies. But ooh, that's a beautiful weekly. Look at that. Anybody want any green tea in this beautiful cup and handle? I want to fill it up to the brim right there with some green tea. But I mean, it's beautiful. Like boom, and then like be careful fading around this time because it was like slow going, but then shazam, and then boom. Now you got a nice floor that came in right here. And it's literally now this one retested the floor, but look, it rejected that retest. So now it's up. I really love this. This is a beautiful weekly, and this is the weekly, guys. Now the daily, you can just see this beautiful consolidation. And let's see if I can pull up RSI. When you pull up the RSI, you can see where it blasted off up here, and it needed to get reset. But now Baby Dragon X is reset here. It's ready again. When you're in the middle, from my chart analysis, and I have a lot to learn. When you're anywhere around this middle, and there's bullish catalysts coming, and you've held the floor above, you know, that it's a bullish sign for me. Plus, this is a W. A W is a good.
What does that W mean? Is that like a win, like a W for the win?
A W on a chart. I mean, I would call it win. An M on a chart is not a good sign. A W on a chart is a good sign. So if it would have stopped here and been an M and gone down here, that would have been not a bullish sign. But this didn't do that. In fact, it's forming a clear W, which is also getting more concentrated here. In my look at things, like I would want to hear what the verse has to say.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
But when I look at RSI, along with the patterns here and the nice stabilization, this is a really bullish chart for me. And I found the chart easily, guys. I just went to titanxhub.com.
Yeah.
I went down to Baby Dragon X number 10 here, and I hit this button, and that immediately pulls up the chart. So Mike Dean put that together. And then if you look underneath here, you can see the ratio right now. So Baby Dragon X is right now a 1.22 Dragon X per Baby Dragon X. So the ratios are right underneath the prices here. Anyways, Mike Dean did a great job with this.
He really does. I mean, he's outdone himself with the sophistication and how clean this is. Mike Dean is just, he's a superstar. He's an absolute superstar. Really, really good at what he does. Very humble, very passionate too. I don't know if you are able to join the Sunday or the weekly Titan X streams, but you can just hear it in his voice. Like whenever he's talking about the ethos, you know, why you are listed and what you need to do to be here, the checks and balances, you know, things, how we should all help each other.
What a great space on Sunday.
Super. Oh, that was a good one.
We had a great space on Sunday, guys. If you didn't hear the builder space, you should go listen to it. It was like so important, that space, for so many reasons. But anyways, James, you're amazing, brother. Thank you guys so much. We have 230 people on the stream. Thank you, LB, for being here. Hexatide, Pulsican, D Max, and Mr. Green. You guys are awesome. The only reason
Helios.
Exactly. So you guys,
Dave, I feel you're awesome. You know, thanks for the accolades. Thanks for the good conversation and drawing things out. I think you are doing unbelievable things yourself. Can't wait to be collaborating with you in the future too.
You know what? You're right, and let's do that. We need to work together. Let's figure that out.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
All right, let's do that. All right, until next time, you guys are amazing. Crypto Awesome out. I don't know how to use this StreamYard stuff, but anyways, you guys are awesome.